What's happening, Achievers? Ajay Sidhu here from Invincible Achievers. This morning I was downstairs in my kitchen listening to my information, my podcast, and whilst doing all my stuff that I usually do in the morning. And my son came, sat down, ready for his breakfast. I sat next to him and I said, objection. In my head, I was going through a sales process. Now, today is all about objections and the reasons why we don't do certain things. Now, when I whispered to myself, objections, my son overheard it and he said, what did you say? And I said, son, I said objection. And he said, what does that mean? And I thought, okay, now I have to come up with a definition. Great, too early for this. Well, objection means, objection is basically the reasons why people don't do certain things that they want or they want other people to do. And that's an objection. And he thought, oh, I don't get it. What does it mean then? I thought, okay, so, and I thought I'll tell him a story. I told him a story about a time when I was in Ibiza. I was very young. I think I was about 6 years old. I was on the beach playing on the sand, 6 or 7 years old, playing on the sand. The sun was really nice and warm. It was a lovely day. Lots of people out there. And my family was there. And I was going into the sea, swimming with my family. And as I would come out, we would make sand castles. We would start making a sand castle, and all of a sudden we heard shouts and screams. And when the shouts and screams occurred, my family obviously got up to have a look. They were dragging a man out of the sea. He had gone too far. He had swam too far, and they were dragging him out, and he was unconscious. And they start trying to resuscitate him, and the family was standing there. And I remember this scene like it was yesterday. It's etched into my memory. The family was standing there crying. The mother and daughter, and the father was lying there. They were trying to breathe life back into him, whilst the patrol guards were rushing over, and they're pumping away. And all this scene is unraveling whilst I'm watching this and realizing that this man had gone too far into the sea. And I remember this, and they weren't able to resuscitate him, and they called it, and he had died. And that really didn't affect me there, but I realized I didn't like going into the sea anymore. So even to this day, when I go to the beach, I like hanging out at the beach, I like hanging out at the sea. I kind of dip my feet into the ocean. I get to about here, and that's cool. And my son said, well, why don't you go swim further? I said, son, I'm not going to swim further because I'm going to lose control. What if I lose control and I can't get back? That wouldn't, I'm dead then. So why would I want to risk going further? And he thought, well, okay, so how does that relate back to objection? I said, well, that is just one point, but now let's take it to ice skating. And he goes, my son was getting more and more confused, and I thought I could see I was losing him. And I thought, okay, when we went to this Christmas recently, there was ice skating, and you wanted to do ice skating, and I made an excuse saying it's raining, son, and look, it's all wet. Of course, ice is wet. Son, it's wet, and we could slip, and all our clothes are going to get wet. I said, but the real reason was the fact that we could slip. We could slip and hurt ourselves. And the fact is, on ice, when I'm ice skating, I've done ice skating, I didn't like it, I'm not in control. And it relates back to that event that happened in Ibiza, where I saw this gentleman. He was not in control when the sea overtook him. And my son said, yeah, but you do martial arts every Monday. You're throwing each other over each other's shoulders and jumping on each other and punching each other. Isn't that even more dangerous than ice skating? I said, it is. But when I do this here, I'm in control. I'm in control of the circumstances. I put mats, judo mats down. I've trained at a high level where if I'm being thrown, I know how to do a break fall. I also know how to prepare myself or get out of a situation where I'm being thrown. Or if I'm being attacked or punched. But if I'm on the ice and I slip, I don't have control and I'm going to hit the ice hard. And he looked at me and said, I still don't understand what's that got to do with objection. I said, well, the reason why I don't go into the sea and the reason why I don't do the ice skating is because I don't have control. So that's my objection. I object. I do not want to. The reason why I don't want to do that and I don't like doing that is because I'm not in control of the circumstances. I will do something that I'm in control of. I will invest in a business because I like controlling that. It's a gamble, but I've got control. I've risked it. I've risk assessed it. But if I'm gambling money, I'm not in control of that because I know I'm going to lose. There's a high chance I'm going to lose, so I'm not in control of that. My son sat there thinking, oh, right, okay. And I said, so how would you convince me to go ice skating? He said, well, I'll give you £50. I said, well, £50 is nice. Thank you. But how does that overcome the lack that I don't have control? Well, he said, well, why don't I invent a ring that you have to attach to yourself so you don't fall, but you feel like you're kind of gliding along. So it's kind of like a spring thing. But if you're about to fall, it holds you up. And then you can go as fast as you want, but it's kind of attached to you. And you can go around, and on top of that, you don't crash into each other because it's slightly padded. I thought, wow, that's a great invention. We should do that. And yes, I would definitely go ice skating for that because that's overcome my objection of being out of control. That's put me in more control. Yeah, I might still topple over with this ring, but it's reduced the chances and I will overcome it. I thought, that's brilliant, son. I thought, you're getting this. This is awesome. I said, let's do you. What don't you like? I don't like gambling because I don't like losing money. I thought, I don't want to break that belief. That's a cool belief to have, so let's just leave that. Give me something else. I don't like not having the Pokemon Illustrator card, which is the rare card, which is worth £50,000. I thought, well, that's great, but you're not going to get it, and I don't know how to overcome that objection. I said, son, give me something else. Oh, I know, he said. I know. I don't like it when you're asking me these silly questions, Daddy. I need to get ready for school. And he got up and walked off. So, the moral of today, basically, is everything that we want to do in life, we do it because we've overcome an objection. We do something whereas another person might not do it. It's because we've overcome that objection logically and emotionally, whereas another person hasn't. They have their reasons. And the reason why we don't do something is because we have an experience in our head that's created an emotional and logical reasons for not doing it. And the way we actually get things done is to overcome the objection. And that's in our mind. And that's also in sales or anything in life, trying to convince your child to get ready quickly, get to bed, do something. They have their reasons. And if we know their reasons for it, then we can overcome the objections. One thing that me and my wife and I were talking yesterday whilst we were just about to have a meal, I said to my wife, I said, you hit this on the head. You've actually taught me this when people say, sharing is caring, sharing is caring, sharing is caring. Yes, it is. But that's if you've got the definition of what sharing means. Now, as parents, we have all made this mistake of saying, oh, you're playing with this toy, share it. Share it with your cousins that have just come about. Come on, just share it. Sharing is caring. It's very good to do that. Do it. Are you serious? You're playing on your iPad, you're relaxing, you're chilled out, and someone comes along and says, yo, hey, sharing's caring. I want the iPad. Puh! Sharing is caring. And you're like, whoa. I'm in the middle of doing something here. What are you doing? No, sharing is caring if you've got a definition. an objection that you overcome. That's what it is. So with a child, like my son, my youngest one, he doesn't like to share. He's like, no, I don't want to share with the older brother. No way, no. That's because he's had an experience where he gave something and my older son ran away with it. So his definition of sharing is that. So he objects to giving to it, the elder son, my eldest son, because he believes that my eldest son is going to run away with it. Now, in his mind, his definition of sharing is giving it to him and he's allowed to take it. Once we change the wording and said, no, you are going to lend it to him, he's going to borrow it, he's just going to play with it, but he's going to give it back to you. Bam. Overcome every single objection my son has to giving his toy over. Now, obviously, if he's playing with something, we don't say, hey, share it. Just like when you're playing on an iPad or reading a book or driving your car and I come along and say, yo, I need to get to Westfields. Get out of here. I'm just sharing. Sharing's caring. I'll bring it back. Same thing. Why do we do it to children? Same thing. But the fact is, it's an objection that children have. Objection that children have. Objection that anyone has. Your friends have. If you want to go watch a movie, you've got a reason to go watch this movie. They haven't. To convince them to go to this movie, you need to find out the reason why they don't want to go watch the movie. Oh, I haven't seen part 1. Well, let's watch part 1 beforehand and then go watch part 2. That'd be awesome. It'll be a whole movie marathon. Yes! Objection overcome. Spent more time with your friend. You guys getting this? Objection is the reason why we do things or we don't do things. Objections, we've overcome and we do things. If we haven't overcome them within ourselves, we don't do it. And that's the same for others. When we're trying to sell something or trying to give something or trying to get someone to do something, there's an objection, but we don't take the time to find out, but why? Even with children, why? Ask the question, why? Find out what the objection is and overcome it. So guys, keep adding value to people's lives, keep spreading the love, and just remember, we are one idea away from changing the future. Take care. Bye.